Hello, hello, hello. I look so forward to this. With you guys today. It's Friday. I don't want to say howdy anymore. How about, hey, it's Friday. Hey, it's Friday. Lots of cool changes going on in here, and I have had so much fun. Oh my gosh. Be still, my beating heart. The preciousness has reached toxic levels in here in Peace Home Studio. You know my heart is with the Raggedies. Oh, how I love them. I have finally broken into new ground, actually made a Raggedy. Now, we can't call her Raggedy Ann, even though this gal, I call her Rags. We're on a very, informal basis. But we've made some Raggedies this week, and we've also had some great changes in the studio. Check it. Oh yeah, I got a rolly chair. You know I do. Rolly chair's been life transforming for me. I am now able to swivel, 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 roll, roll, roll. I love it. I can get up and down out of the chair. There are no arms on the chair, so I'm up, I'm down, I'm all around. Where did I find this chair? In the basement. I'm going to have to take you guys in my basement sometime so you can see the magical place where I seem to be able to retrieve any random object at my need. Really, I got married 3 years ago, remarried. And Mr. Murphy has a ton of cool junk to mine. He got rid of a lot of junk. I got rid of a lot of junk when we joined our households. But I tell you, that guy has got some cool stuff, and I am always happy to dig in somebody else's drawers. So, speaking of digging in drawers, and before we talk about our Raggedies, let's talk about some great finds around the house. This is a great segment. I may do this occasionally. Great finds around the house, or what's in your drawers. Guys, I was digging. What was I even looking for? I can't remember. But I found this in my stash. It's just cool old doily things. Again, I have no idea where they came from. But look. Okay, this is, I'm pretty sure these are machine-made little adornments, that like go on a shelf, like you would tack them maybe on a shelf. Oh, how adorable, These, I actually made these. I made this. I was going to make some curtains, some really cute curtains, and this was going to be across the top of it. I have two. I have one that's finished and one not so finished. And I did this like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It looks pretty new, doesn't it? But in reality, it's older, possibly, than a couple of my kids. I also ran into I guess this is a coaster. Here's another, like, I don't know, fringe thing you would hang on something. I got two of those. This may have been handmade. I don't know. It feels like a factory to me, but okay. And then, oh, wait. This is a basket. It's a little doily basket. Look, here's the bottom, and then here's the little, very pickety, isn't it? Yeah, look at that. Women ages ago, and this was actually made by a person. I can tell by the stitches, but someone who was really, really good at it. They would dip these in starch so that they would be stiff, and then they'd sit them up and put, I don't know, what, candy, potpourri. I don't think they had potpourri like in the 30s. I think people were just happy to have a bar of soap. But that's what this is about. This is a weird thing. This was made by a person, I know, probably, and gosh, it's so old. Look, it's got some little chewed, worn out places, but that just makes it better. I love that found look. So that's what we've got here. And we've got, like I said, happy, fun times. You never know what you're going to find in your drawers. Another thing that I bumbled into, or decided to explore, I guess, was more filling. More filling. I love dolls. I think we all know that about me. But what I love about dolls, and I've been looking at these crazy dolls on the internet, mignonettes, in the 1800s, somewhere in there, in Europe, several places, but the mignonettes were actually in France, I believe. They're little tiny dolls that come in these boxes. It's called a show box, and it's got all their little things in there. Oh my gosh, there's little dishes and purses and shoes and clothes, and undergarments like nobody's business. What's up with the French and fancy undergarments? And the boxes are decorated just so preciously with just Victorian scenes and beautiful, those beautiful baby-like women and children that you see in portraits from that time. Everybody's real pale and soft looking, and creamy, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And just lots of bows and embellishments. It's crazy. They sell for thousands of dollars, and I'm always fascinated looking at all the little things. It's like a feast for your eyes. But for me, it's all about the touch. A hard china or bisque or plastic doll, they definitely have their place in the world. But I love a soft doll. For me, it's the feels, it's the weight, it's the touch. I love that. Okay. For instance, here is a bear. I bought this bear under the pretense of giving it to one of my children, who's now grown, so he's not brokenhearted over it. He had a thing for bears, and this bear I loved because of the way he feels. I wish you could feel this. He's soft, he's okay, he's nothing out of the ordinary, but he's very supple and he's heavy. Okay. You see how heavy he is? He's heavy, which makes him feel kind of like a baby. It makes me want to cuddle him and hold him up close, and because he's so weight, and most of the weight is in his little bottom right here. I don't know what's in him, but he is amazing. He's a Boyd's bear. So, little plug for that company. This is one of the most pleasing. I picked it up, I fell in love with it, and I bought it because I had to have it. And I'm not that kind of person generally. I'm not an impulse buyer. If anything, I don't have buyer's remorse. I have buyer regret sometimes. Oh, why didn't I buy that? It's just I'm cheap beyond all understanding. But this, I had to have it because of the way he feels. That was part of what went into my dolls. I want them to feel weighty. I want them to be limber, kind of like a living thing. And you'll see that I gave her some more bangs. I was really proud of that. Her little shoes are done, her little feet. But I like the feel, and that's big. That's big. So, because of that, digging in my drawers, I didn't forget what I was talking about, you guys. I found in my kitchen all kinds of things I bought during various stages of health craze that I'm never going to eat. I put things in glass jars a lot of times because it's just so darn pretty and easy to access, and it keeps your stuff fresh. So here's brown rice. I'm sure people love brown rice. I love rice, but brown rice is so, I don't know. I can't make myself get into it. It takes twice as long to make. It's sort of a meh. I like granola and plant-based. I tend to go toward that, but I do eat meat, y'all. Sorry, I'm a weakling. But brown rice. Can we put rice in dolls? I may have to research that. I know you can put it in those rice socks that you can put in the microwave and heat and then wrap around your neck when your neck is really sore. You need to try that sometime. It really works. I also found some whole brown mustard seed I bought at the health food store. Am I ever going to use it? Why did I even buy this? But ooh, look at it. It really rolls. And it's got weight. Flax seeds. Now I think I was going to toast these or I was going to grind them. I don't know. I was real into vegan baking for half a minute. And then, of course, our decorative filler sand. Love this. This is really heavy. A little goes a long way, and we love that. That's always a bargain. I've made many dolls, and look, I haven't used that much. But I'm still, trying different things out. So these are some weighty things that I use. Now, when I put them in the dolls, I'm very careful to sew them in their own little pillows, little tiny bean bags that I put in the dolls so that they don't get mixed out. I was going to mix them in with the stuffing, but it just turned into a lumpy mess. So I decided not to do that anymore. Now I have these Raggidies. Oh, these Raggidies have turned out so great. It was the old pattern that I had. I have bits and pieces of it everywhere. Water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. It was this one, remember? And the dolls were large, and I don't want a large doll. I want a small baby-like thing. So I reduced the size of the pattern, and I changed it a little bit. And so I have two versions, one a little smaller than the other, but oddly, I put the same size face on them, so I don't know. This girl here, she's 1/8 of an inch all over, smaller than this girl. Now, these are not her actual clothes. We borrowed these from somebody else because I don't like them sitting around without clothes. It's so undignified. So she's got some borrowed undies, and she looks really nice, but as you can see the difference in their heads and their faces, this one looks a little bit better. This one is adorable too. She's just a tiny little bit smaller, but there's almost too much face for her head. Kind of like Liza Minnelli. You ever notice that? She has a huge face. So I went ahead and started working on this one's clothes. Again, I took a lot of inspiration from the original pattern, but we're going to add so much more to it. As you can see, here's one of the things, the drawer treasure that I found. Found another one, and look how great it looks at the bottom. Oh, wonderful. I sewed some elastic in. She's got some really cute bloomers. Of course, we have the I love you heart. Sorry, dear, but I must show. We have our I love you heart. But again, it's the feel. It's the feel. It's the feel. It's the feel. I like to put my thumbs up under like this, and then it's just, oh, gosh. I can't stop the hugging. Oh, it is so pleasurable to hug this doll. Why? So anyway, the necks are always a terrible thing. That's why I try to keep a little lace around. Lace will cover a multitude of sins. So there she is. She's ready. She's going to have a lot more on her dress. This is sort of the bottom layer, like you make a cake and you just ice it and then you add stuff to it. This is the bottom layer of icing. She'll be all duded up next week, and so will this girl. I am loving making Raggidies way more than I should. Very gratifying. I'm going to call her Raggedy Jane because there's enough Anns in the world, don't you think? Raggedy Jane is nice. Jane is a nice name. I love that. One more thing before we sign out for the weekend, and this is huge, guys. I want to make sure I've got it. I explored tea dyeing this week using tea bags, hot water, salt and salt and vinegar. Guys, I made spaghetti last night, and it had so much garlic in it. This morning, Mr. Murphy and I reek, and I am like, excuse me, all morning. I have the worst breath. I brushed my teeth. It won't go away. Both of us breathe on each other, and we smell like bologna, basically. I know garlic is really good for you, woo, but it is wearing me out. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled rant. Tea dyeing. And it came upon me because I made this girl, and she's very pale, and of course I love that because it just looks old. Old dolls, old rag dolls, handmade dolls, oftentimes are put together with whatever's on hand. She is made out of some vintage cotton curtains, and so she's not quite as white as this girl. I didn't do any, this is an old sheet, remember? So I used the white cotton curtains thinking it would give more color, but there's not really that much color. We'll have to wait for her to age naturally to get that patina. But I thought, tea dyeing. I'd been thinking about it for a while. A lot of people do it, and they dye things in all kinds of stuff. I found a great website. This gal makes quilts, although she just announced that she's not going to talk about quilts anymore. Who cares? She has a gazillion videos, and they are simple, direct. I like her personally. She's just seems very nice. And she has a lot of great tutorials on there, just friendly and nice, practical. She kind of does things her own way, and I really like that. She doesn't stand on ceremony. I was looking for tea dyeing, found one gal who's like all natural, and she's like, don't use metal pans, and it'll take 8 to 12 hours. I was like, are you kidding? 8 to 12 hours? Forget it. Found this gal. She is, it is in, it's out, it's over, it's done. I love it. And I wrote it down, sort of. She used 12 cups of water, 6 tablespoons of salt. She said that her rule of thumb was a tablespoon per every 2 cups of water. She brought the water to a boil. She added 3 family-sized tea bags, steeped it for about 15 minutes, took the tea bags out, added the salt, dissolved the salt, and then she put so much in that 12 cups of water. She just kept putting stuff in there. I couldn't believe it. And she even wrung that all out and put more stuff in it. So she really got a lot out of that tea bath. And I kind of like that too. She uses things up. She uses it all. And I'm for that all the way. Then you take them out, let them steep for as long as you want. I leave mine for about 15 minutes, I guess, because I'm in a hurry all the time. Maybe in the future I'll steep them longer and see if they get darker, because what I got is really, really cool. I don't think I have any undyed to show you side by side, and that's kind of a shame, because once I started tea dyeing, I started dyeing the world. She uses prints. She uses all kinds of stuff. I was really impressed by a white cloth that she used that had some white on white design. When she soaked it in the tea, it came out, and that under design or over design, I guess, really came out. It really popped, looked double cool. So soak it in the tea and salt for 15 minutes, rinse, then 2 quarts of water plus a half a cup of vinegar. She put everything in that, and she let that sit for about 10 minutes. She rinsed it, took it out, rinsed it, put it in the dryer for like 10 minutes, and then dried it the rest of the way with an iron, with a super hot iron. Very impressed. So I will see you guys next week. I hope to have more cool things to show you. I tried to get as much in as quickly as possible, because you don't want to spend your whole weekend watching YouTube. Well, maybe you do. But thanks for joining me, and I will see you again, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, next week. Bye.